Hey everyone, welcome. So glad you could make it to the book club. Okay, so what we're looking at today it's an explainer of a rough draft. And wow, I am incredibly high right now, which actually feels kind of perfect for piecing all of this together. We're going to be diving into this whole collection of memories and lyrics and feelings that really just defined a generation. It's all about how the music of the 90s, this raw, emotional sound, it became a forge for so many kids, just shaping everything and helping them make sense of a really chaotic world.
Okay, let's just dive right into this. This quote right here, man, this is the whole vibe we're exploring today. This is the core of how music from that time just got it. The forge. Think about that. A place of creation, right? But born from like intense heat and pressure. And that's what the music was. It was a shield when the world was too much. It was a confession for all the stuff you couldn't say out loud, and it was a pressure valve, a much needed one for feelings that had absolutely nowhere else to go.
So here's our roadmap for today. Our chapters in this crazy, beautiful mess of a story we're sifting through. We're going to start with a rough draft of memory, then get into the forge of youth, dive into the flood again, break down the anatomy of an anthem, and then we get to the alchemy of suffering.
Okay, so this first section, this sets the stage. It's called a rough draft of memory for a reason. This isn't a finished history book, right? It's more like a collage of memories and lyrics and just feelings. We're sifting through the echoes of the 90s to find what it was all really about.
Now let's see how this all builds. We're digging into where all that heat, all that angst came from. And spoiler alert, it often starts at home. This is the Forge of Youth, and it's all about the sound of family.
I mean, Kurt Cobain just lays it out, doesn't he? The whole generation felt that rupture, that feeling of the world just changing under your feet. The difference between a father and a dad. That's a whole universe of disappointment right there. And calling divorce a bore, that's not saying it didn't hurt. It's that cynical exhaustion when the pain is so common it feels mundane.
And for others, it wasn't a bore at all. It was terrifying. Like living with a superhero who might just turn on you at any moment. The book describes a dad whose anger was so visceral you could see it in his veins, ending with a threat with rifles. Imagine that. That's not just a broken home, that's a war zone. Man, that's heavy.
So, here's the crucial point, and this is wild. You had these two worlds colliding. This slide shows the narrator's two sets of parents. And get this, both sets were named Bob and Linda. Mind-blowing, right? One set was the uptight set, just miserable. The other was the hip set, understanding, easier to talk to. A world where smoking a little weed wasn't, a capital offense. It's like living in two different dimensions at the same time.
So what do you do with all that pain from the forge? All that pressure? You react. You explode. You dive headfirst into the flood of just being a teenager.
And the first reaction is just pure, chaotic release. Forget the lame bumper cars at the fair. We're talking golf carts, going way too fast, looking for a real impact, Something to make you feel alive.
Then you find ways to make some noise and just disappear inside it. Setting off old military-grade smoke bombs. It's like creating your own personal fog to hide in. A self-made disruption.
And yeah, you try to change the reality you're in, When the world sucks, you find a door to a different one. For some, that meant trying to literally change the channel on their own brain.
All while creating your own soundtrack to the madness. Taking a guitar out into the woods just wandering and playing, that's about taking control, turning your own chaotic life into a movie that at least has a killer score. I can almost hear it.
But that flood, it's a cycle. You can escape for a little while, but man, it pulls you back. Alice in Chains just nailed it with these lyrics. The same old trip. It's always waiting to drag you back under. Okay, whoa, let's get analytical for a sec. This is deep, man. How did the music actually sound like pain? It's one thing to feel it, but how did they put that feeling into the notes? So it starts with this idea, experiential meaning potential. Sounds academic, but it's really simple. Music isn't just notes, it's experience. It's like how the sound of a thunderstorm feels intense and heavy, even if you're safe inside. We're wired for it. Our brains connect sounds to real-world feelings.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the song Hurt by 9 Inch Nails is literally structured like addiction. It's a cycle. The verse is all tension and what's going to happen next. Then the pre-chorus gives you this tiny little moment of hope, like maybe things will be okay. The chorus is the big emotional fight, and then relapse. It just yanks you right back into the pain of the beginning. Whoa!
And that tension, it's on purpose. They literally used the devil's interval, a tritone. For centuries, people thought this combination of notes sounded wrong, evil, unstable. That wrong-sounding note is the sound of uncertainty. It's the feeling that something is just off.
And this brilliantly illustrates that feeling of sinking. That downward spiral is coded right into the music itself. The melody literally goes down. Our brains hear that and we feel falling, sinking, despair. It's math for feelings. Wild.
So after all that, the pain, the family stuff, the chaos, the deconstruction, what do you do with it? What's the point? This is where it gets really, really interesting. This is the alchemy of suffering. You start by just admitting the pain is real. You stop running from it. You turn around and you look right at it. You focus on it. Because in a world that feels fake and confusing, sometimes the pain is the only thing that feels true. It's the central truth.
And then you reframe it. The pain isn't just the end of the story. It's the curriculum. It's the lesson plan. This idea that maybe you go through all the suffering to learn something from it. Wow, I feel that's so hard right now. The pain is the teacher.
So the crucial point is, all that mess, all those mistakes, all the times you fell back into the flood, they become valuable. They become gold. That's the alchemy. It's the alchemy of the fuck-up, turning all that lead, all that heavy, dark stuff into something precious.
And that's the final thought I want to leave you all to chew on. If pain is the forge, the thing that heats you up and hammers you into shape, what happens when you stop just getting burned by it and you learn how to use the fire? What can you create? Man, talk about that. I'm going to go find some snacks. Thanks for checking out this rough draft explainer. This was awesome.